welcome to another Murray outdoor adventure. We are back on the Cohutta Wilderness, one of our favorite places to go. And we're going to begin with the end in mind on this video. We're actually down here where we're going to wind up. Our adventure really doesn't begin till tomorrow. But we are right here at the Beech bottom trailhead. The trail to Jack's River Falls, kind of the shortcut to Jack's River Falls. So our plan is tomorrow we're going to start up here at Three Forks where we like to start, and we're going to hike just a little ways, and we're going to make a right on Rough Ridge Trail. And we're going to hike Rough Ridge Trail about 7 miles or so and camp right here on Jack's River tomorrow afternoon, and maybe walk down and enjoy the falls, camp that night, and then the next day head out, cross the river on a cold morning and out Beech Bottom Trail to where we are right here. We've done made arrangements. The truck's there waiting, and we hope it's there when we get back. So stay tuned. We'll be off on another adventure. Well, here we are. It's the next morning, and we're at Three Forks parking lot. Gonna head up East Cow Pen for about a 1/4 mile to a 1/2 mile and turn right and head out Rough Ridge Trail. It's a beautiful morning. It's a mite chilly, about 32 degrees up here right now. It's going to be a cool start on a windy day. But Rough Ridge Trail to Jack's River, here we come. Off we go. Well, we've been about 1/3 of a mile, and we're about to go down uncharted territories for us. We've been that way, Panther Creek, East Cow Pen, but now we're on the new trail for us, Rough Ridge Trail. 6.5 miles to Jack's River Trail. Onward. We've been 1.5 miles on a pretty well maintained trail. No issues yet. We are on Rough Ridge, and that's Cowpen Mountain right there, and we deviated to the east from it. And now we're just cruising along the trail, making pretty good time. We're still skipping right along the top, or just on one side or the other of Rough Ridge. And that big mountain you see in the distance right there is Big Frog Mountain, Tennessee. It's been 4.3 miles. It's windy, it's cool. Thank goodness the briars aren't out yet. March the 28th, and they're wanting to be. So if I would advise you, if you're going to come in April or May, or any time after that, bring your puffer jacket. You'll have holes torn in it. Making our first little stream crossing right here. Got one slight climb before we make our last descent down into Jack's River. One more little climb. Just so you know, it ain't all easy, wide, pleasant trails. stick through here on towards the end. It ain't all stand-up walking, boys and girls. It's the first wildlife we've seen. Oh yeah, we saw turkeys coming up and signs of hogs. And there's our first snake. Well, we've traversed our way down the steepest and the thickest. We finally made it down to the creek, which I'm hoping we can follow this right down to the river. And a much easier walk from this point further, I hope, considering there's probably a lot of that we're going to deal with. But we're almost to the river. We always come to some moments of consternation, and here we are. We ain't real sure exactly where the trail goes, but we think it goes right up through there. But what a dang nasty blowdown. I've done about fell in the creek one time trying to cross logs like this. Anyway, here we are, headed that way. All right, we've reached the point where we have got back on a pretty solid trail, skirting along Rough Creek, we think, and hopefully this is going to run into Jack's River out here somewhere where we can make our camping spot. There's the no horses beyond this point sign. All right, we've come off the trail. We've done over 7 miles. And we have come to the place where we're gonna camp. It's right almost where, well, it is. It's at the end of Rough Ridge. And we're camping on Rough Creek. And we're gonna set up shop right here in this little nook. Right here close to the river. Plenty of firewood. And hopefully out of the wind. So this is the before. Waiting on the after. Well, we're here trying out a pair of new hiking boots. I know y'all know I'm an oboes man. But these are Topo. The new Topo. So you know I wear my oboes for everything. I thought I'd give these a try, and so far they've done great. Like wearing a running shoe. I guys at Environeers down in Sarasota, Florida have got us all suited up for the most part. We've bought backpacks, boots, sleeping bags, all the important things you need to have a relaxing camp. We visit Environeers in Sarasota, Florida. Here's how you get in touch with them. All right, we've got camp set up right here, so we're just gonna review who's where and what they got. And so this is my spot right here, and you can see I use an Osprey Atmos 50-liter pack, and I skimp on things like a tarp, and that's a Magellan hammock and a cheap, but I do have a Sea to Summit bag. 20-degree down sleeping bag, so that's my splurge. Now, Booby, he goes a different route. He's got him a cot. Nothing special bag, but it is a 0-degree bag. And a nice big giant tarp he uses. He also has an Osprey bag. And I think his is an Exos 48-liter bag. So that's his splurge. And then we go down here to Hugh. He also has an Osprey bag. His is a 70-liter bag. And there's his tarp and his hammock set up. It's supposed to get down into the 20s tonight, so we're doing a little bit of limit testing. We've not any of us camped when it's got into the 20s, so it's windy right now. We've got plenty of firewood stacked up, so we'll see how it goes. It's a bright, cool morning, and time for the process, breaking down camp and heading on out. We did Rough Ridge Trail yesterday, finished it. Now we're headed out Beech Bottom. We'll stop in and see the falls on the way out. The process of moving on has begun. All right, we've packed everything up. We've left no trace. We're fixing to pack up and head to Jack's River Falls, right up that trail, and across our first river this morning. We'll see how it goes. Well, we've about made our way down to the first river crossing on Jack's River. There's our buddies from last night that met. Now it's time to make our decision on how to get across this water. All right, here we are. We got to cross right here somewhere and scoot right up through there. We're gonna let the man with the waders test the depth though. He must have been a Boy Scout. Be prepared. He's prepared. Here goes crosser number one. He's got his waders on. That ain't fair. How deep is it is the real question, because we ain't got waders. My britches won't go that high. That's too deep for my britches. I don't know. Well, there's one across. There goes number 2. You go the shallow way. Pushing it right there. Success. Oh, that's cold. All right, here's our first fork. Beech Bottom Trail goes that way to our truck. But we're gonna take a little detour and head down to see the falls this way. We're on Jack's River Trail, from Beech Bottom Trail, and heading on down to the falls. There's Jack's River. Much nicer trail than Rough Ridge. Traveled a lot more. I've been putting the topos to the test, and so far they've come out like a champ. Waterproof for sure. Alright, we have seen the falls, and now we're on our way out, headed to Beech Bottom Trail and out to the truck. I'm thinking it's about a 4-mile journey. On a beautiful morning. Well, we finally let Rob lead the way, and he didn't want to come out the trail, so he wanted to do a little trailblazing. So maybe we know where we're at, and maybe we don't. We seem to be headed the appropriate direction, at least. So stay tuned. Well, I give him credit. He came out on some kind of trail, headed up a shortcut to Beech Bottom. Getting closer. We finally made our way onto much easier terrain to traverse. So now it's just a gradual little uphill walk. A couple, 3 miles at the most. Time for an update on the topos. So far, they have stayed waterproof through all the creek crossings and all the mud I've walked through. Very waterproof, no leaks, no wet spots at all. And they are a boot, they're not a running shoe, but they're as comfortable as a running shoe. But they don't have near as much ankle support as my Obos do. But other than that, they are a great boot. Stan and the folks at Environeers hooked me up with these, and they are great. So give them a call if you need something. Environeers, Sarasota, Florida. All right, we're making our last steps. We've made a bunch of steps, and we have made the last ones. So here we are at Beech Bottom Trailhead, and to show you what we've done, we have basically walked the whole length of the Cohutta Wilderness. From the southeast to the northwest. And that's it. Rough Ridge Trail, rough. Beech Bottom, not so rough. Alright, thanks for joining us. Another MOA video. See you next time.